Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of the Undefeated podcast.
The only podcast with two undefeated fighters, fam.
Chatting it up. Listen, guys, if this is your first time stumbling across this pod, welcome to the family. This is a nice little community we got here. Your residence that you've just moved into, wonderfully furnished. Amazing.
Take a seat, sit down. If you want to sit on the poofy chairs, you can. If you want to sit on the hardback chair, you can. We got the throws, we got everything. Just get comfortable, fam, and enjoy this journey right now because we're getting on one because a lot has happened, bro.
It's very mad. Very mad.
Has happened. Boxing just keeps moving.
I love it, I love it. Like sometimes I see like other podcasts who do like series and they, they drop the 11 episode series and they come back in 6 months time.
Yeah.
Bro, they miss out on this. One announcement, one update, and everything is in disarray.
Everything's in disarray. But before we get into that, fam, you gotta get into our tailor the tapes, innit? So,
bro, what's your tailor the tape?
Listen, fam, I'm 0-0, fam. Weight fluctuating, as you know, fam. But it doesn't matter. We keep it moving. I'm going down, though, fam. I might hit 18 stone at one point, fam. Right now, currently sitting at 19 comfortable. Yeah? So we'll see where it goes. We'll see what happens. Yeah, listen, 0-0, never fought, never lost. If I did, someone gets knocked out, it's definitely not me. Reach, mad long.
Understood.
What's your tailor of the tape, though, fam?
What can I say? Height 6'2", possibly 6'3" now, because Michael Venom Page is listed as 6'3", and we were standing eye to eye. So I might take that with my head down as well, bro. 6'3.5". We sport. I like 6'4". We say me and Dwayne Wade same height. Look, let's not go crazy, but reach. Boy, I saw my brethren the other day on the top decker of a bus. Light high five. So I don't even know. He reached out. He said, "Bro, man." He reached out a little, little window. He opened it. He just folded it in and reached out. I said, "Bro, man, like Trav." I said, "My guy." So basically, it's one of the ones where I'm jabbing, man. Anywhere I am in the ring, you're still in range.
Crazy.
Remember Dalcine from Street Fighter?
Yeah, bro.
I'm giving it that one.
Y'all got flame.
Get me. So 2-0 record with a beautiful 50% knockout rate. Do you know what I mean? That lets you know there's a cannon. There's a cannon in this fist. You get me? Half the men that enter the ring with me, they're left on their back.
We did it, bro. Let's get into it. Where do you want to go? Yard? Where do you want to go? Beterbiev? Where do you want to go? AJ? Usyk? Like those are right today. Like
I think everybody wants us to start at Yard.
Let's go.
Because they know that's my dog.
That's your dog. It's the only place to start, to be honest. Let's start
with Beterbiev Smith.
Beterbiev Smith. It went exactly the way we knew it was gonna go. No disrespect to Smith. Big up. You were a champion. You did your thing. But we didn't. You couldn't put you with the guys. You look like the food, and man. The man them were looking for you. Everyone's been looking for you, and there's a reason why they were all looking for you in that belt. Now that's out of the mix. I know your manager was trying to talk the talk like, I don't know why people are leaving me out and this, that, and the other. Come on, bro. Deep down, you was just trying to probably give your fighters some confidence. But Beterbiev and Bivol are two different animals. They're just them two are something else. But Beterbiev especially. It's mad because I never want to disrespect Bivol the way I feel like he's getting light disrespect. He's a real challenger, He's not a joke.
Do you know what? Do you know what's mad? Yeah, people say that, but I think Bivol, like, it's all it is that they have different styles, so the impact on the mind is different. Do you know what I mean? Beterbiev goes in and slaughters, man. But Bivol just he does a madness in there, and like. He dominates the fight. He literally dominates the fight. Do you know what I mean? You get into a chess match with him. If you're good at playing chess, you get to play chess. Like Craig Richards forced him to play chess, and it's like, well done. Do you know what I mean? But Bivol is a world-class operator, and you know, if anybody's gonna be able to beat Beterbiev, it's gonna be someone that's gonna have Bivol's boxing brain to
That's
not
right.
get into foolishness. Do you know what I mean? Because you can see the power that Beterbiev has,
He
bruv.
carries it's 100% knockout rate. Again, it's better than yours, bro. And you
It's
know
better
what
than
I mean?
mine.
Like, it's mad. I hate to say that to you and feel like I'm disrespecting, but it is. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
mean,
Um,
hopefully down the line, maybe me and Beterbiev can really. That's outrageous.
I didn't
That's
want to.
outrageous.
I'm not even
I
gonna try.
didn't.
Usually I
I
try to
did.
do other stuff. I stayed away from that button. I thought, nah, I wasn't even doing that. No, but again, the power is insane.
Bruv, there was a
That's dope.
video. There was a video of him in the gym hitting the pad that was against the wall, and bro, it sounded like a gunshot in the
Yeah,
flipping space. Doosh! Like I
yeah,
couldn't. I'm like, okay, cool. This man has significant power, bro. He's
yes.
different.
And I'm surprised again, like Smith, big up to it because it's not easy getting in a ring. You went in there as a champion. Obviously, it ended in the second round. Probably was hoping for more, you know, but it was heading that way. As soon as he's landing and he's sitting down on his shots,
Yeah,
he's as comfortable as ever.
straight.
I was
But the thing is, I
honestly
thought was
go
I
ahead.
couldn't work out what the game plan was. Like, I get that Joe Smith can hit, yeah, but he was coming in head first,
Yeah,
stagnant and wailing. I said, you can't be giving us the Hail Mary game plan in round one, bro.
because he
He
knows
got caught
time.
with a shot. Yeah, I think the first shot that hurt him, he's like, I'm actually going to have to empty the tank. I'm
Giving
going
it
to have
out.
to try. And he just kept on getting clipped.
Yeah, and again, sometimes you feel a bit of power. You say, "Oh, it's gonna be a long night." You know what I mean? Like you feel the power from round one and say, "Oh, it's not fabrication. Like this is real." Because usually you say, "Well, he ain't hit me, so I don't know how
Hmm.
strong you actually are." But it's when you wince, when you take a shot and there's the little tell that boxers have. They might just do that, rub their gloves on their head and be like, "Yeah, it's cool." There's all little moves, there's all little tells that they do to let us know.
It's
Yeah,
so funny, yeah. You can see Watts' tail is the the shake of the glove.
yeah.
Floyd's tail. Like when you see the tails, it's just like, oh, I hurt you. Shush.
So that's there, right? And it happened quickly. You hope for a fight like that for belts on the line. It would have lasted longer, but it is what it is. No disgrace. Now we move into we move to Yard versus Beterbiev. Can't believe it's been announced. And again, let's quickly just go into the beef
It's
of the
not.
promotion.
It's not been officially announced just yet. It's just that all the promoters are talking heavy. Like it's coming.
It's happening, bro.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
happening. Do you know why? Because we're not getting Bob Arum does not want to do any work with Eddie Hearn. He's not getting to that platform at all. Bivol is pretty much the zone. He's kind of linked to the zone, right? Would you say? Yeah, is the zone is the zone can be, right?
Yeah.
And they don't want to work together. Frank and Bob Arum have a lovely relationship, purely Fury and all this other stuff that they've been get going on. That's gonna happen. Like it was already. It's so annoying that they was never going towards that undisputed thing purely for this matter. So you say
Mm.
to yourself, I get on the rankings, Yard is up there, so he deserves his title shot. But you say to yourself, surely this thing should happen first because Triple G is busy. Triple G is busy. I mean, Canelo and Triple G, they're in something right now. This should be the next fight to happen.
Yeah,
But
but Bivol is not risking the bag, bro. Like, not to sound like, but if I'm Bivol and I saw Boatsi's last performance, I'm
yeah,
more than likely gonna feel like I can win that fight with less stress over than a Beterbiev.
oh, of
Yeah,
course, of
you see what
course.
I'm saying? So for him, he's looking at it like, yeah, I can probably do that one. And then Canelo will run out back again because there's money over there in that Canelo fight, and I don't want to jeopardize that bag.
But then after you go over to this Bataviev Yard thing, and you ask the question, is now the right time? Is now
Well,
the right time? Because Base brought it up, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it since. Base says that it's been the biggest. You look at Yard's whole career, and you say there's arguments for mismanagement, and then you look at it and you say I've had to sit with that comment since he said it on Monday, and does it ring true? Is the question I'm asking today, because the fights that he hasn't been incredibly active, and you're fighting one of the most dangerous guys in the division with no lead up. Like, your last thing was Lyndon. Is this the one? Is this the right step?
Well, look, it's one of those things where it just depends the lens that you look at things.
Okay.
Right. So you say, was this the right lead up? Was this the right build up? Cool. It's a bit tricky. Do you know what I mean? 9 months out of the ring, that's not the way you want to go into a fight like this. But at the same time, he's going up for his second world title shot. Right. And this time it's going to be in his home soil.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? As far as like opportunities, they're getting him the opportunities. Do you know what I'm saying? He would have fought on the Fury undercard. That was what they were trying to get to happen. Remember?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it didn't happen because them men had to pull the financial situation of that fight was so up and down. They couldn't afford to pay. They couldn't afford to
be there.
Yeah. So the undercard was like nothing was on the undercard, fam. Do you know what I mean? They were throwing out the B team out there. So that couldn't happen. The attempt and all that stuff was there, but you got to remember, Yard took a whole year off before he fought Lyndon after a rematch. Came out and smoked man's boots. Do you know what I mean? And that's coming off the loss. So I don't think for 1 second that these guys are worried about those things in terms of this fight with Beterbiev. They know that the work that's got to be done in camp, they're going to go above and beyond in that camp. He's going to be on point. I don't think he's going to show signs of rust because
journey, though.
Because you got to remember, nothing is going to get you in shape quite like the fear and respect of your opponent.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So there's no opponent that's going to get Anthony Yard up in the morning more than Beterbiev. So I don't think we've got to worry about him getting ready. Now, in regards to the conversation about, say, mismanagement of a career, you know what I mean? There is a thing with like the way Frank does things, which is a little bit different to what we're seeing from Eddie Hearn in terms of the step up in fights. This one, it was like what, Trav Reeves and some next guy, and it was straight to Kovalev. Do you know what I mean? You'd say to yourself, like, on paper, probably wasn't the best way to do this. Like, it would have been nicer to have a bit more competitive fights and da-da-da-da. But at this point, it's done now. Do you know what I'm saying? There's no going back. No, it's not going to be accepted for him to start going back and doing those fights. Do you know what I mean? You could say, yo, maybe have a domestic, get a Callum Johnson in, why not fight Boatsy and all this type of stuff. But these are not domestic. But these are not domestic fights. These are still world level fights.
Yeah, of course.
You see what I'm saying? So for me, I'm like, I do hear it, but I also hear the fact that you take the title shot with your opportunity. You take the opportunity that's on the. You know what I mean? It's there. So I'm not mad at it.
Nice. I hear you're not mad at it. I'm
not mad at Boatsy doing bivot, bro. You got to remember, Boatsy also doesn't have the activity and the resume of certain things because he's had bare injuries and all these random things that's kept him out of the ring. But here we are, bro.
And he's been behind. Boatsy has been behind. He has to catch up, Boatsy's playing catch up.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Yeah, he's like trying to, with all the other light heavies, he's trying to catch up. Yeah, so his thing makes sense. He's never had a title shot, never been in that space, right? So now it makes sense to say, you know what, regardless, move on. And Craig Richards is a good level up to say, okay, let me go for it. You know, let me fight someone that is gonna box, is gonna be technical, is gonna be.
It's his first world level fight.
Yeah, there you go. So now you say to yourself, unfortunately, had Lyndon been more of a had we learned a lot more from Lyndon, if Craig literally he went in there and got him out, he beat him and knocked him out round 4 or something. It was finished.
I think it's 3 or 4.
Yeah. So then you say to yourself, I don't think we got to Yard would have learned a lot about himself.
I think he did. I think he did. Yeah, because you got to remember, he accepted the terms of that first fight, as in, we're going to jab and we're going to do this thing. We're going to come in there and do what you want to do. Yeah. He came in there as the enforcer and said, forget every single thing that you've got planned. I'm on smoke. I think that's probably the first time he's leaned fully into himself. as a
But there
fighter.
we go. So now I'm saying in this Beterbiev fight, the difference is, could he just come forward and be the pressure man against
It
someone
won't
like
be as
that?
simple as that. It won't be as simple as that because Beterbiev showed, especially in this fight, that this man can do angles and counter punching.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? So
that's the point that's the point that I was getting to, right? So you say to yourself, what has been the learning passage to say that we can deal with this? Yeah, we can say, he couldn't deal with the jab. He passed that. He dealt with that. So we can't use that. If Lyndon offered a bit more, we have like a lot more to look at this let's say there'll be a lot more, I don't know, tailor the tape to analyze and say, because we had Kovalev, the most significant fights we can say is Kovalev, Lyndon Alpha. Yeah, being fair. Will those two fights, will you be prepared and be ready to go against a Beterbiev? And now again, the proof will be in the training. Luckily, they added people to the camp. Who's, you remember, it's not just Tunde now. There's another voice in there. But I don't know so far, because someone else asked the question, how come you don't have the same confidence you had in AJ to win than you have for Yard? And it's like, well, the only reason why I feel this is different for me is AJ's got proof of work. You know what I mean? If you do show and tell, you can say, look, this one. I learned this in this fight. I learned when my nose was broken in the Tekken fight. I learned something how to deal with the short. Go ahead.
The difference is AJ fought this guy already, and it was a comprehensive beating, right? Yard hasn't fought Beterbiev, but I think it was October already said that more so in terms of support rather than necessarily belief that it's going to go. Like for me, I look at it like, you know what? If you believe you can get this thing done, I back you 100%. Do you know what I mean? And that's from a fan stance of I'm supporting this guy. Now, in terms of, people have highlighted me saying he can win as opposed to he will win, right? And I'm like, yeah, because this is a very difficult fight. I can't, you know what I'm saying? That's not the type of opponent where you go into that one. That's like with, the Usyk thing. I'm saying, AJ can get it done. Like, if he does this, he's gonna but I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm predicting, because this is a want thing. I'm coming from the fan stance. I want him to beat Usyk. But I'm well aware Usyk could still get this job done again, and that's it. He could just smash work. So for me, I'm not doing semantics to be politically nothing. I'm like, no, I know what I'm looking at in Beterbiev. And I'm sure, much more detailed than us, Yard and them guys, they know what they're looking at. So they're going to get ready. They would believe they've got a plan. Tunde is not going to risk his boy like that. You understand? I can understand the Kovalev fight, big jump, but you go with the opportunity that's there. You understand? And it could even have been a financial motivation. Do you know what I mean? You look at the background, you say to yourself, these are men from the ends. You understand? Flying out to Russia. Balls of steel. Flying into Russia.
Russia is incredible.
And nearly stopping Kovalev. Like, I understand.
Flying to America as well, just to get back in another Lion's Den as well. It's impressive stuff. A lot of men ain't gonna fly out.
But just to say though, a lot of times people dismiss that he nearly stopped Kovalev. They dismiss it because he lost in the end. But he proved in that type of performance, if Craig Richards proved that he's world level by how he gave it up against Bivol, Yard proved he's world level by how he went there and nearly stopped Kovalev in Russia. You understand? You came close and you pushed man to a limit where he's nearly over and he just couldn't get over the mountain. You still belong. So for me, I hear these combos and I'm like, bro, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Well, no, there was inexperience in the camp, basically. That's what they've learned from it. They've added another face to it, if that makes sense. Another voice, because again, as I said, we were gassed. You know what I mean? We could see that was going to touch him up. He looked like
it was time.
And it was like, it's time, empty the tank. Again, they'll never be silly like that. Again,
it won't be wild like that, and I think it'll be a lot more calculated because they've been to this mountaintop already. They've experienced the intensity of the emotions of these moments.
He could be ready.
Do you know what I mean?
I want him to do it. I like you. I want him to do it because I want to see. I would love to see Boatsi versus Yard for all the belts. I'd love to see it.
That'd be insane.
It'll just be fun for us. Do you know what I mean? It'd be fun for UK boxing as well. It'll be incredible. Can you imagine the Undefeated at the light heavies? Like,
be insane. It'd be insane if Yard beats Bateviev. That alone is incredible because of how dangerous that man is. But I look at it and I say to myself, Callum Johnson went in there and he caught you with a great shot, put him down. And I'm like, okay, Callum Johnson has power. Yard has power. Yard can land those shots. And Yard, for me, is a bit more defensively aware than those two guys. Joe Smith came in head first, and let's be real,
yeah,
he's food. Craig, like, he had an opponent pull out. Craig Richards and Anthony Yard, both ready to fly out on that plane, 5 days notice. They knew that's a belt collection.
yeah.
I would like to book that in. And then Joe Smith just fought some random nobody.
Yeah.
You understand? He knew he was food too.
Yeah, he knew.
So that's why I'm like, whilst that knockout was impressive over Joe Smith, yeah, Joe Smith was ready for this loss.
But now when you flip the flip side is Bateviev can make adjustments. So I know when he say he went down to
oh yeah, he came up and
he can make adjustments. It's not as he goes down and it's over.
But that's because Callum Johnson. Let's be real, Callum Johnson is an intense guy, all heart, but he's all heart as in it's not neat. What he does, he goes in there, he wants to tear up. You can't tear up with Bateviev. No matter how much success you got.
He wants to tear up at times though.
Yeah, don't tear up like that. You know, the reason why I say that he's more defensively aware, which is why you don't see Yard in mad tear-ups. Yard is more of a pressure fighter. I'm coming forward. I'm passively coming forward. I'm keeping this going. But I'm not unloading. You're swinging, I'm swinging. You're swinging, I'm swinging.
Yeah.
He's very much not like that at all. So for me, I'm curious to see what their game plan will be with Bateviev. But his instincts that he's shown, although he hasn't fought at certain levels that people would have liked to have seen, he's defensively aware. You don't see Yard get banged in the face casually in a fight that he's got. It's like it doesn't happen like that. It's the jabs. It's a very specific shot. It's a very specific shot that he's had issues with. But Bateviev ain't coming there to jab his head off.
Nah, not at all. He's coming there to swing it out. You know, he's like when you think about it, the person that will want to mix up with him and fight like crazy is Boatsy, probably Boatsy Bateviev. You know, Boatsy's gonna say, you know, let's just swing it out. Like, you know,
Boatsy, the minute you land on Boatsy, he's gonna swing that little glove, and then he's gonna be like, all right, let's have it. Forget what Virgil said. I like to throw these hands. I would hate to see him in that fight, though. I'll gotta be honest. I think he loses that one bad. I think the style mesh would be bad for Boatsy if he did that. Really? And the thing is, I can't see him not doing that.
No, he's gonna fight. That's gonna be his fighting style. The only my reservation with this Yard thing is I feel like there's things that you need to learn in the ring, you know, in certain fights that unfortunately he hasn't been it just hasn't happened. And Bateviev is gonna ask him loads of different questions. And I don't know if he's got the answer sheet just yet. Yes, we know from the Kovalev situation that they learned a lot about themselves outside the ring and just the voice and when we should speak and when we should say this and this, that, and the other. You could see in the Lyndon situation, Lyndon should never have beaten him. That's the point that we have to hone down. Lyndon should never have won. He was in the worst space mentally, and that's why that thing happened. Because when he did press Lyndon near the end, you could see where it was going. However, it was just way too late. You know what I mean? Lyndon, remember that same power. It's kind of like when Fury realized at the end of the first fight that they had,
I'll beat you up,
you know? You know what I mean? And it's like that final round, and they all felt it because they said what Pat Barrett, they all knew what was going on. They went back to their dressing room and said, yo. And that's why he allowed him to stand in front of you when they're doing thingy, because a little part of you said, this was a mad one, you know? A little part of you said that to yourself. And again, negotiations were hard, this, that, and the other. So the Lyndon thing, it's more probably for self-belief of going and getting the job done. So not even waiting, being the first to that. He's probably learned that. But I'm talking about when you've been hurting around, or when you've been, because again, the people that he's fought, when you're losing or when you need to make a real adjustment to give yourself the front foot in this fight, he hasn't, unfortunately, he hasn't been able to learn that yet on his journey. Are you with me? That fight, or or someone the cheating, he's getting against someone that's there's elbows in there and all those other things that you say that will happen in a championship fight for someone that's not prepared to lose his belts, who's gonna go to the line because he knows what he's getting up against. But is not sleeping on this guy. He knows a real person doesn't just leave the country and go to meet you at your fight and says, "Hey, I'm ready to fight you," when you know the power I have. That'll leave Batavia feeling raw, like he really showed up for no one called him. He wasn't even working. He wasn't even on the broadcast team. He just
he was on the broadcast desk at one point. Okay. And then he was sitting down chilling, and then obviously the fight ended. They rushed over to him just to get his foot because they know why he's here.
Yeah. I mean, was he commentating the whole fight though?
No.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Right. Usually, that's the reason why you fly a man out, and he's working. This guy said, "I'm here. I bought me and Tunde bought our tickets. We're here to see you. I want to see it." In what you call it, it's like Batavia has to look at that and say, "Raw, okay." You know what I mean? It's gonna make him train a bit harder. It's gonna make him go because he knows what he's getting up against. He knows he's getting up against raw power. I can't wait to see it. I honestly hope it does happen.
Did you see that clip? You see that clip where so basically in one of the interviews, Yard was saying it's like, yeah, these men, they never really got going. Do you know what I'm saying? They never really warmed up. Yeah, I mean, he's slow. They're both slow. So
yeah, seconds out.
Yeah, but then afterwards now, the reporter said, "Oh, did you hear Anthony Yard said that you're slow?" He said what? Guy comes in his ear, he's like, "He said you're slow. Anthony Yard said that you're slow." And his face was just like, "He said I'm slow? Okay. Oh, yeah, okay." And just continued. I was like, well, that's interesting.
What do you get? What do you think?
I don't know. I think it's one of the things where he obviously wants the Bivol fight. He says it quite clearly. But he's going to eventually have to focus on Yard. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be an exciting fight. You know what I mean? A nice packed out venue. Yeah, Yard is someone who we see that he thrives off of the big nights. You see what I'm saying? The hometown night. That's that rematch. Because the first fight with Lyndon, personal issues aside, was then that secluded thing, no fans. This time round, one fighter bit down and was on smoke because of that. The other fighter kind of, the occasion might have got to him, you could say. Yeah. Whereas I think this was going to be one of the biggest occasions and it would bring him another level outside. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Everyone writing him off. Everybody writing him off. We're going to have to see.
I hope he wins it. There's no rhyme or reason. I just hope he wins it purely for UK. Like, I hope he wins it purely on that basis. And, why not? I'm not going to go against him in this fight. I just think that it's a big step. It's a big ask. It's a big question. And I do hope he answers it. That's all. Do you know what I'm saying? But I can't pretend and behave as if I don't know what Bataviev is.
It wouldn't make sense. It would have made no sense.
We all know who Bataviev is. We know what he is. We know he's number one for me in the division. He's number one for me in the division. Even though Bivol holds those belts, Bataviev is still number one. So if Yard can beat him, he becomes number one in the division. Like, it's a tall order. And right now, you probably have him ranked as 3, 4. So it's gonna be that'd be a real jump. Is what I'm saying. It'll be like, whoa, you know what I mean? Top of the pile, just from nowhere. So listen, all the best. Hope it. I really it's not been announced officially. You're saying?
No, not officially. When we see that fight poster, that's when we know it's real.
Okay, cool. Hopefully,
we
can put that money in escrow and we get that thing going as soon as possible. Other news.
So let's move to the. Oh, sorry, go.
Other news. Savannah Marshall. Bro, we're getting all the fights. We have
September 10th.
We're doing a live for that.
Just do it.
I think we have to do a live for that one. This year of boxing is insane. It's finally here. September 10th. Again, another fight, really difficult to call. No one, you don't know, does power win that day or does great boxing ability win that day? Again,
I say Clarissa. There's, I understand Savannah's a big puncher. She's a big puncher. I get it. And I'm not even trying to dismiss any of her talent. But I just feel like Clarissa's boxing ability.
and speed.
Yeah, I mean, and me to speak about boxing ability is not to say Savannah's not got any type of boxing IQ,
That's right.
but there is a difference in levels with boxing ability with those two. And placing a big shot and getting them out, it's not easy when you're going up against people that are that skilled and super defensively aware. Because Clarissa hasn't got the power, she's had to make sure that other things are on point.
Yes.
So I'm not going against Clarissa on this one. I think she's going to get it done.
I wish this was a 3-minute round thing, you know. This fight would go to you always get to like 1 minute 40, and you're like, oh my god, it's going on.
It's about to set off. Yeah.
You get to 1 minute 40, and you're like this fight could be so exciting if they just change that rule. If they change that rule, yeah, because we'll get more knockouts. We'll get a lot more clinical finishing performances. But obviously, like, we can't get that. Savannah, I want to say Savannah's will land. She will land, yeah, and she knows how to set up her shots. It's not like it's not Wilder-esque. It's not like, it's totally different from that. This is someone that knows systematically, goes about her work and does it well. You know, can Clarissa stay on the outside, box really clever in and out, and not be touched?
I think she'll surprise everybody and not stay on the outside like that.
Or you think she's gonna mix it up?
I think she'll mix it up, but strategically. Remember when Canelo and Floyd fought?
Yeah.
And everyone said Floyd just has to stay on his bike. And he came out and stood in the pocket all night long. He stood in the pocket all night long, beat him to the punches, didn't get hit with anything stupid because he was defensively aware, stayed in the pocket and was just beating him to every single shot, staying out of the way, come back in, right back in the middle. And it threw Canelo so far off his game. And as the bigger puncher, the bigger man in the ring, he didn't even get his stuff off properly. Like, there's ways to beat big punches.
Do you know, I have a feeling that the occasion, remember, one thing that's happened that Savannah's got into Clarissa's head is, you ain't got the power, you can't be, you're not stopping anyone. Yeah. Which can force someone into making mistakes that they shouldn't make, or trying to prove something they shouldn't want to prove. Are you with me? So why you stay in the pocket? Why you can't stay? Clarissa's as brave as they come. I've watched her do UFC, and she's gone into someone else's discipline and fought. No boxers doing that. No boxers going in doing a grappling thing. She went in there and won. So for bravery, I understand. When he said being in the pocket, I was like, she might want to do that. She might want to.
Yeah, but you got to remember, being in the pocket though don't necessarily mean that she's going to come in and play Savannah's game. When Floyd was in the pocket with Canelo, he weren't trading with him. He came in the pocket to give him a look that he completely didn't expect. I'm right here. Bow first. I'm touching. I'm always touching. The minute you want to get your stuff off, now I'm out. Reset. Come again. And it was a constant battle of, I don't know how to land this shot on you.
Yes, but the flip is, I want to show you that I can one. Remember, because what your words might be affecting me is what I'm saying.
But
I'm going to prove to you that I have power and I'm not afraid of you, and I want to stay in here.
But that's the type of stuff that works on fighters that don't have the deep amateur successful background that Clarissa has. You understand? You could talk a fighter into some foolishness if it's like maybe weak of mind, or the amateur experience isn't crazy. Like, let's be real. AJ got talked into that with Usyk.
Talked into that, yeah, from someone else. Opponent.
Exactly. Clarissa has been boxing rings around people. She's got Olympic gold medals. She's done this. She knows who she is. She might try and experiment with something for a moment, but she is going to be herself.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you understand? Savannah is who she is, but we can't discredit the fact that one of their amateur careers is far more successful than the other. Do you understand? So if we respect that when we talk about your Lomachenkos and your Usyks and these guys that come in and they turn pro late, so they're twilight career successful guys, those guys' amateur background, it's a nightmare for a pro fighter with 15 amateur fights. So not to say Savannah is in that same bracket, but Clarissa and her, bro, I'm telling you, it's got to be one of those fights where I think people are going to be surprised how one-sided it is.
Yeah, it's literally, as you say, great boxing versus power.
And
wait, power with power knowing what to do with it as well. So not just like just power with power with ability, you know.
And the thing is as well, it's such a weird one with them two because they've been pro for the same time. One of them has all the belts. It's hard to. It's one of them has all the belts, and the belt she has was vacated. So for me, I'm like, listen, if it was levels, why have they not bucked head before on this belt chase?
Well, no, they're setting this up. This is the special fight, innit? They've been building us up towards this moment. You know,
she's 2-weight undisputed.
Yeah, it's
2 undisputed 2 weights, bro.
You know, we done a show about her like early in this pod, early. You know what I mean? She's the GOAT. She deserves the name, but she's been building like this is important for boxing anyway, and what she's done is so significant. And now we're here. They're both signed to Boxer. They're both signed to Boxer, right? We're here now. You know, you ask yourself, are we gonna get? Is this a trilogy set in? What are we getting right now? Because there will be a rematch. I'm here for it. And again, it happens this year, bro. This year's been insane already.
September 10th, baby.
Oh my goodness. I'm just we're incredibly blessed with what boxing's trying to give to us right now. But let's move
now to another Anthony.
What are you telling me, bro?
AJ Usyk announced we're gonna get that fight August the 20th.
Yeah.
Very, very, very exciting times.
Can I start with some hate first?
Go straight.
All right, I want to start with hate and say, while I respect doing in the dunes, and all these other places, it just takes something out of it for me, build up wise, because it's not in the UK, it's not in a country where you're like, it felt like a very lovely TED talk at first, you know, just the energy at the beginning, at the top, it just felt like it felt like a lovely exhibition that was about to see. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like, like the rematch and the this and the, you know what I mean? It didn't.
And you know what's, you know, 100%. You know what the worst thing for me was, right? So there's a thing coming out tonight, actually.
Yeah.
On ITV4 about Against All Odds, about Tony Bellew.
Yeah.
And it had a lot of clips of him and David Haye when they were going to have their fight, and David Haye's in it as well, and they're both just talking about the fight, and it's going to be a nice watch. And in one bit, they showed a clip and the press conference, and bro, the intensity, bro, they're face to face, they're squared up, and then Tony Bellew's explaining, he's like, he pushes David comes straight over the top with the left hand, bang, he lands, and Bellew's like, so we're throwing punches, are we? Fam, that moment there, and David Haye is just on some smoke. He's like, yeah, that's right. Like, fam, I'm watching this, I'm like, I'm getting the excitement again.
Excitement.
So, bro, I watched that the day before. I saw this presser was there, and I was like, okay.
Like, you still enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoy
It's happening.
it.
It's happening.
Yeah.
But it didn't do that. It didn't do.
Yeah, I mean, and that's purely because of where it is. It felt like walking into a lovely shop in Dubai and you're gonna go buy something really expensive. But it's like, oh, we're heavyweights. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, raw. Like,
and they had the guys over on the side just sitting, and I was like, are you not even linked to boxing, or is it just like it's just a clout thing? I'm here.
It's a clout thing.
I got the special seat. Watching from this, I'm like, raw.
But now we take all the hate out. Yeah, that's the only if there was a negative, that was the only negative. Now we get into it though. Yeah, bro, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with it. Started. I want to give, if we were gonna rank AJ's performance in that thing, I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna score him out of 10. 7.5.
Okay.
The reason why I say 7.5 is I did like the stare down. I did like that. That was, the face to face was good.
The stare down Yeah, the stare down was good.
Tell
him, man, yo.
You turn around and him staying there. I like that. You control him. That's what the fight's gonna be like. I'm gonna make it I'm not fighting your fight this time because you punched me up when I fought your fight. I'm calling the shots. If we're getting to this side of the ring, that's where we're going. I'm letting you know from now, yeah, that I'm telling you how this thing goes. So you turn around and I'll turn around soon. Yeah, that was good.
The eye contact's there.
Eye contact is there.
He turned first. Now, what I find interesting, right, is people just like, oh, he broke first. I'm like, bruv, how long you man want these men standing there, locked eyes? Like, I've watched enough of these fights over the years, yeah, to feel like these eye contact things mean very little.
True. No, but whatever. That's not true. Actually,
whatever impact they have, yeah, for holding. No, I mean the holding the longest stare thing is he turned away first. Like whatever impact they have does not affect the outcome of the fight.
Yeah,
it's not going to be the thing that tips it over the edge. So for me, watching these things, I'm like, I enjoy them. Some of these men have the best stare downs, and then they go get smoked. So it's for me, I'm like, all right. I'm more the body language during the stare is the most important telling thing.
Yes.
Not the length of who broke foot.
Yeah. Because remember, we're jockeying. Even in we spoken to boxers and said, I looked at him and I knew straight away. I knew exactly what was going on. Remember when we had Billy Joe Saunders skipping into the ring and that? Remember that thing? And it's like your body language is all wrong, fam. So
you've never done that before.
Never done that before. You're not in what you need to be. So with the AJ thing, I was happy. I did see a selfie. That's what took it to 7.5. So I was gonna give it
selfie irritated me, man.
I was gonna give it a strong like 9. Yeah. I saw the selfie and I thought, AJ, no, man. And I know he's a cool guy. I know he's cool, but I don't want you like this guy has made you look a certain way.
Stop being cool with him. That's it.
He's not your boy, fam. He's not your boy. He can be your boy at the end. At the end,
no. I mean, not to that. Obviously, be your boy at the end, but disconnect from this brother. He's not your brethren.
He's not your friend, fam. He took your belts and went. He took his belts and just went to Ukraine, fam, and was, you know what I mean? He was doing his thing. He took all your belts, bro. That night that you had the fireworks, he embarrassed you, fam, and he beat you up. So I don't want to. I'm not taking no pictures of you. Imagine you beat me up and I now say raw, and I'm now in a picture with you on some one of these, fam. What am I doing that for?
Quick selfie, bro. G.
Quick selfie, G. Nah, bro. You touch me up, bro. The next time I take a selfie of you is when I'm walking over you and I got the belts, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'll put that picture up, fam. But before that, nah, man. But again, then I deeped and I thought some people can't be on crud 90% of the time.
Yeah,
it's not their personality. So I don't.
That's right. That's right. And you can tell that's him. But
crud all the time in it. Do you know what I'm saying?
His energy is pretty consistent though in terms of there's a difference.
Yeah.
Even Robert Garcia, when he was talking about things, he's like, I see it, there's a change here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm excited for it because AJ knows there has to be a change.
Yeah.
He knows beyond any measure of doubt, this one has to be significantly different. The level of attitude going into this fight, because you're on smoke now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't afford to be out here. And Chisora made some statements, right? Saying AJ has to lose if he's going to lose, it has to be by knockout. That would be good for him. And I agree.
Go on. Get into that. Wait.
I agree.
I didn't
because
see those statements.
He said it in the interview. He said if he's going to lose, the knockout would be best for him rather than losing on points again. Because losing on points again leaves room for the should have done this, should have just done that. No, but if a man stops you, that he got that done. He match work. Do you understand? So for me, I look at that and I'm like, because if that does happen, that means you emptied the tank. You went and you threw everything at this guy. Whereas a points thing, you could get into survival mode and be like, well, at least I'll lose on my feet and survive these last few rounds. And I'm like, nah, bun that, bro. This one here, everything needs to be thrown at this man.
Yeah, because I that's a little part of me. You see, because Ruiz got that win, a little part of me, just maybe the fan of me, the AJ guy in me said, I wanted him to taste how AJ fell over a few times. I wanted Ruiz to fall over and just Like it wasn't meant to happen. You know what I mean? Like a real humbling of this guy, bro. And it didn't happen, innit? It just kind of they ended on their feet, and Ruiz weren't even in true good condition. AJ just boxed smart. Obviously, he won his belts back, but I wish he hurt him. I wish he embarrassed, because this thing is boxing, in it, and you will be embarrassed in certain places, bro. Man was embarrassed in New York. Man was embarrassed in the Mecca, and you got when you run it back, you want him to feel that. Like you're never gonna do that to me ever again. So now when AJ pulls up on Usyk, and he needs to send a message, because straight after this, if you win on points, straight after this, it's Fury, bro. Like straight after, it's not like you get to rest. Like he might even turn up. Fury might go. He might just
this is if we really break it down, we're getting close to the signing off of AJ's career.
Yes.
Do you understand? And this is the finishing touches that we're trying to establish. So
champ, go on.
There's like 3 fights left, really, in my opinion. 3, maybe 4.
Oh.
Okay, so let's say 3 or 4 fights left. So let's say it like this, yeah. You beat Usyk. Let's just map it out on the base of just you beat Usyk, you get to Fury, you fight Fury. Wilder and Dillian White would be the 2 fights that he wants to have.
Fight Dillian again.
He'll fight Dillian again.
Really?
There'll be a way to drum that fight up again. And also he knows it's easy work. Or he believes it's easy work. Right? Then Wilder would be the fight that everybody still wants to see.
Yeah, because he has to see Wilder. He'd have to see him. You have to see him. He has no choice.
Yeah.
Then you don't get to retire. That's not sounding like retirement to me, bro. That sounded
4
like
fights and it's done. Who else is there after that? That's where he gets Dubois and Joe Joyce.
It's gonna be a Wilder rematch. It's not gonna be a Wilder once-off thing.
No, if he beats him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Beats him badly as well.
I don't know, you know.
By the time that fight happens, Wilder's gonna have another year on his legs. He's not a young brother. He's like 38.
Oh, you know.
We'll see. I mean, this is just these ain't predictions. These ain't predictions. These are just
whatever in it. But I've always now I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how that goes. Like,
yeah,
you gotta be really like a pro. You gotta be a really good boxer. Like to do what Fury did to Wilder, not many in the world can do. Is what I'm saying. Like I have such a respect, or newfound respect for Wilder's power now, I'm like, you know what, like I know he's real. Like I know that Wilder, like, and then even in the loss, how Wilder just said, you know what, he's ready to go down on his shield. Like he was ready to take
his heart. The heart he displayed made me a real fan of Wilder as well.
I said, yo, like
he earned respect. He earned big respect.
Big respect. So now I'm like, you're not a joke. Like you're not someone that we can play with your name. Like Fury did that because Fury's sick. We
still do know now what Wilder is. So let's be clear. We do know what he is. We have seen him try to change and then revert back to type. He is going to be heavily and only reliant on that right hand, which is fine. I mean, the right hand is reliable if it lands. But it's just it's one of the ones where it's just like that's going to be an exciting fight because AJ's vulnerabilities match up with Wilder's strengths and vice versa.
There you go,
But AJ, if he decides to put him in a blender, bro, right, and he steps in, it'll be a hell of a fight.
Don't even let me think that far. It's not even happening. But we got Usyk. Usyk, what is Usyk bringing to the party? Do you think Usyk is going to be? Do you think Usyk potentially could be better than we've seen him again? We saw him Chisora, we saw him AJ. Will this be the best Usyk we see in this? Does he need to be the best Usyk?
Yeah, he does. And you got to remember, it's going to be a completely different fight to the first one.
Why do you say that?
Completely different fight to the first one. AJ's not going to come out and try and fence with him. Yeah, he's going to push the action. Usyk's going to have to react differently. Now, if you go back and watch the Usyk fight against AJ one more time and watch it on silent and just watch it and pay attention to it. Bro, there was a lot of moments in there when AJ went to the body, Usyk got on that bike and was out of there. Do you understand? There's certain moments in there where he clearly hurt him, but when you watch an AJ fight and AJ doesn't clearly win, it seems like, what the hell's going on? And I understand it. There's no doubt in my mind that Usyk won that fight. Let me be very clear. But AJ didn't push the end. He didn't push the fight at all. He didn't build on any of those moments where he hurt Usyk. And this, for me now, when I look at that, I'm like, if you'd have let the hands go crazy after that one, something could have landed. So for me, I'm like, now that he's coming in with seek and destroy missions in time and the right mentality, I'm like, this could be one of those fights where the better boxer is the smaller man and the better boxer gets taken up by the bigger man. And the bigger man don't need to be better than you at boxing. But when that moment where he started to let the hands go, he hurt you. And that was it. So we'll see. And I know Usyk has bulked up. That can go one or two ways. We don't know if that bulk is going to be beneficial for him. When Wilder bulked up, that was horrendous. His legs were gone. He weren't moving. Usyk needs to be able to move as fleet as foot as he always does. If he can't, you're going to be there for more opportunities for AJ to land. And if AJ's on smoke, it's a different fight. So if I was those guys on the Usyk side, I wouldn't really feel like this can be the same. They know they're going to have to level up as well. And that's the beauty of rematches. Because the winning formula doesn't look the same way twice.
But then now I'm taking in what Belly said. Belly said that, like, obviously shared the ring with Usyk. Usyk tires you out. You think there's shots there that are not there. You think that you're in it when you're not in it. Like his understanding of range, distance, where he needs to be is emphatic. You know, doesn't that AJ has to do, because Usyk is not much that Usyk has to do, that AJ has to do more, I would say, than Usyk has to do. Usyk already knows.
Absolutely. AJ absolutely has to step it up, but he knows that though. I'm not coming there to do the game, the little boxing chess match thing. He's coming in there to impose. That's what he has to do.
When I try to get to you, but I can't, because that's gonna be a real side of this fight as well. Usyk is elusive. He can stay on the out. He can get his work.
He's also hit, but he gets caught. Let's not be like, sometimes we can set up these narratives, yeah, and just accept them. Like Fury is just super elusive. He moves like a middleweight. Doesn't move like a middleweight. He's been down loads. Like, so let's not talk like that. These men got good head movement. They can evade some shots, but let's get out the narrative of he moves like a middleweight. Usyk can get hit. Tony Belly was piecing up Usyk, fam.
Yeah.
Before he, yeah, I mean, he was really getting to him. So
I don't.
He's a very skilled fighter.
Yeah, I looked at Belly and I was like, "Rah, you shouldn't be in there with my man." That's all I got. All I got was, yeah, because Belly was like, "I'm gonna do it." You know, he's coming back. He said, "Listen,
bro, younger Belly that night in that same game plan, he beats him because, bro, he doesn't gas out in round 7. Younger Bellew isn't gassing out in round 7. Let's be real. That's still my opinion. Prime Bellew, yeah. Prime Bellew is not. That's not at the end of his career, right? Going against his own word of retirement. He is lasting 12 rounds because you got to remember.
No, he might last 12 rounds. He's not beating
Usyk. No, but hear what I'm saying. Usyk was pressure cooking him, coming forward. Take that. I'll eat that. Let's go. Bro, he was eating a lot of shots.
Look at the angles, though. He just looked superior. Like, I was looking at Usyk and I was like, geez, like, it was mad. And I always remember, I'm a Bellew guy.
Bellew was up on the cards.
What, are UK cards, yeah?
Bro, the judges, I believe that Ed Bellew was up on the card. So for me, let's not discount and pretend like Bellew was just looking like the lesser man in there, because he was not.
Well, you watch that fight again on, what do you call it?
Bear in mind, yeah, let's be briefly at this time when this fight is happening, I want Bellew to win, but I also don't mind him losing because he's beating David Hayes. So I'm still emotionally like not trying to see the benefit. And I still felt like that at the end.
All right.
Do you know what I'm saying? This is before obviously we met Bellew and know him, but at that time I was like, right, he's actually getting a lot of shots off on my man. So I'm saying Prime Bellew isn't just gassing out because of that. Not when he's landing shots. That's why even when I said to Bellew, I said, cuz that weren't Prime Bellew, fam. And he went quiet because he knows I was at the end. But fighters know they can't say those things. That's why David Hayes, like, he was the better man on the night. It's like, all right, cool, but would you have beat him a few years ago? Look, he was the better man on the night. Them men know that it's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what would have happened back then or this and that. It don't matter. But we know as fans and can say, Prime Belly, in my opinion, that night versus that version of Usyk with that game plan, he beats him. That's my opinion.
All right.
It's my opinion.
I ain't gonna fight you on that one. Still, I know what I saw. Something. I'm gonna stick to that. I'm just gonna let you know about some few light announcements. There you go. These you can check these ones as well. But yeah, we got Luis Jr. versus Luis Ortiz.
That's a crazy fight, bro.
Yeah, September the 4th.
I saw somebody tweet. What age group is this fight aimed at? 40 plus? 40, bro. And this is pay-per-view, you know?
Never.
It's pay-per-view, bro. I feel sorry for the Americans sometimes, man, because
free to air, fam. You can't do
you
that.
Sure?
Free to air has to be. I don't know.
No, it's pay-per-view, bro. It's pay-per-view. I feel sorry for these American fans, fam. Bro, they're gonna have to part ways with $70. $70. Like,
I'm not paying 70 to watch Andy Ruiz and Luis Ortiz.
I'm not paying 70 in any currency to watch Andy Ruiz and Luis Ortiz, bro. 70 lira.
How much you paying though? Like, what's your cutoff? What's your cutoff point? I think
I might slap a $6.99 on that.
Really? Nah,
that's too much.
My TV license should cover that.
Yeah. To be honest, it's one of them ones where I'm happy to be on Twitter at the same time as the fight and hear people tweet about it. Dan Raphael does some good round by round tweets.
Yeah,
I'm happy to just Love Island does those tweets.
Here you go. Wait 1 second. What else is going on? Oh, wicked, man. Amir Khan, the three guys that the three guys that robbed Amir Khan for his watch. Yeah, they've been caught. They've been arrested. So,
nice.
Like justice. And then Lennox Lewis, man, he tweeted. I'm just gonna read this one. Lennox Lewis tweeted Vitaly Klitschko. He says, normally on June the 21st, I would do a fight anniversary post-fight with Vitaly Klitschko. But today I simply want to salute him. He's he's in the biggest fight of his life, and the sacrifice he's made to serve his fellow Ukrainian citizens is not just commendable, it's admirable. It takes a lot of courage to step in the boxing ring, and as fighters, you know every fight could be our last. But the courage to stand up for your country and fellow citizens like he has takes a different level of courage and love. So on the 21st of June, salute to my friend Vitaly. May God keep you safe and bless you with peace, love, and happiness. Bless. Vitaly just came back with a simple thank you. That's amazing, still with a prayer emoji as well. But that's the beauty of boxing, right? And that's the time to be, even if that's like, and I don't know how this has happened, but even if it's a light message to AJ, there's a moment for niceties and there's a moment for crud and war. Yeah. In this lead up, chill. You've done your selfie now. I don't want to see you with that man in the camp. I don't want to see you doing anything. No more niceties, bro, until the day. You have to put the target on his back.
But you know what, though?
Go ahead.
Let's go back, yeah? Because if we just accept somebody's temperament is the way it is, yeah? Look at the lead up to the Klitschko fight.
Yeah.
It was pure niceties. Two-way niceties. Some subtle mind game victories for Klitschko, I'd say. Yeah. There were certain times where I was like, you got the better hand of this little intellectual exchange. But when it was fight night, it was absolutely everything that we needed.
Yes.
So I feel like with AJ, the smoke might be there with people that he feels it for, but he can generate it for the occasion when it's needed, when the stakes are high enough.
Yes. While I want to understand that, but one thing we do know is when Lennox, you can never accuse Lennox of mentally not being in the right frame of mind.
Oh, come on now. Only one time I'd say.
He was training, he was doing filming. It was doing, like that's different. Like, I'm talking about mentally being out of it, just not there. I don't know what's wrong with me. Again, we still haven't had the answers for that, but that happened. Yeah, when we say, right, AJ, put your foot down, like let him know. Or AJ asking questions. We know for sure. Lennox ain't walking into a ring asking people, "How do I get this done?" He ain't asking that question. The tune's playing. He's enjoying. Yeah, it's different. So this is why I say the Garcia element of Savage.
It sounds good.
You need to be like, even if it's against your personality, and for in this moment, you have to change things. You need to get that thing where it's like, this guy is trying to rob you, bro. I can't let him. There's no rematch. You remember, when people used to say AJ fights like he knows he's got the rematch clause. He has to believe that there's nothing beneath him. There's no safety net. There's no rematch clause. There's nothing. It's just go home. After this moment, we all go home.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's one of those ones. So there's no free fight clause and I get the same money as you. Nah, bruv. It can end here. Even though it's not going to end, but that's how we should feel. Because then you go into that fight aggressive. You go into that fight in the right frame of mind. You go into that fight with people not taken from you. Look what the other guy did. Ruiz was doing up. They were doing up pictures. They were doing up all of it. And then Ruiz was the one that left laughing. And he was moving nuts. You know what I mean? So we can't afford, if this happened to us more than once, we need to learn from it. That's all. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, that's all. That's what I'm saying. So hopefully he does take that on board. You know what I mean? We don't care if he gets a trim. You can do whatever you want, fam. But just again, like everyone is the ops until we have this fight. Everyone. Everyone is the ops until when the fight's finished, you can hug them like Mayweather does and call them a Hall of Famer, fam. And just do all the stuff that Mayweather does, you can get into that bag. But till then, that's the enemy.
100%, brother.
Yeah. People, I believe we reached the end.
Yep. We've reached the end of this audio journey.
Look after yourself. Stay blessed. For all the people listening to this just via audio, big up yourselves. We apologize for not getting it to you the way it should be coming to you. I know some people just listen to it via audio. We saw that out now. We finished my boy Trav's finished filming and that. So
yeah, man, it's good. I'm actually still middle of my run at Soho Theatre now. Shouts out to everyone else. I saw some great defeaters there. So Tony there, Spencer came down, Spencer Ferron.
Hey,
man, like GG Chain was there as well.
Come on.
So yeah, bruv. You know what I mean? It's good vibes, man. Couple more nights left.
Wicked.
Anyway, yeah, we're for it.
We move, fam. We move. Anyway, people, look after yourself. Till next time, stay blessed.
Peace.
Yo, people, thanks for watching the Undefeated podcast. Make sure you
like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and all that good stuff, man. This is the place to be.